The Justice League movie is now in theaters around the world, and it's fair to say the reviews are not great. But we think that's harsh. Sure, you don't get the thrilling plot of Captain America the Winter Soldier or the complex villain of The Dark Knight, but if you're looking for an enjoyable action flick to watch while you're munching on popcorn, it's got everything you need and more. These theories make it even better. Enjoy, but be aware there are some spoilers ahead. Before we start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to keep up to date with all our new videos. And during the video, see if you can count how many Green Lantern rings randomly appear. Stick around till the end of the video to find out if you counted correctly.
Each lantern is responsible for patrolling one of 3,600 sectors of the universe. But
sort of like one copper precinct.
A Green Lantern will join the team soon. During the flashback scenes in Justice League when Steppenwolf's first invasion of Earth was being depicted on screen, viewers saw humans, Amazons, and Atlanteans joining forces to repel the alien warlord and his army. But they were assisted by two other individuals, a pair of Green Lanterns. The lanterns shown in battle were only on screen for a short amount of time, but they made their presence felt. The first one was very hard to make out, but we saw the individual create a fist construct to take out a horde of parademons. And the second one, who was definitely an alien of some kind, was killed by Steppenwolf and his axe. It's hard to see this being a mere pointless Easter egg, and one theory suggests that it's foreshadowing a Green Lantern being the next member of the DCEU Justice League. One of the original slogans for the movie was "Unite the Seven," and yet only 6 members were assembled in it. Another one is clearly set to join sooner rather than later. That was emphasized when Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince made additional spaces available in their new base of operations at Wayne Manor, and the Green Lantern looks to be next in line. Which one it'll be though is another matter entirely, but our bet is going to John Stewart.
They wear my power. Green Lantern's life!
Something huge was keeping the Green Lanterns away. Sticking with the Green Lantern theme, a question looming over the Justice League movie is why they weren't present for Steppenwolf's second invasion of Earth, especially in the wake of events of 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. They were clearly involved in the battle that took place when the alien supervillain invaded Earth first time around. So why not this time? You would think that the release of an incredibly powerful monstrosity like Doomsday, the death of a powerful heroic being like Superman, and the aforementioned second invasion of Steppenwolf might warrant the presence on Earth of the largest peacekeeping force in the universe. That is, of course, unless the Green Lantern Corps was busy dealing with something bigger, which is what this theory suggests. There have been all kinds of suggestions regarding what kind of crisis might be distracting the Green Lantern Corps from the events taking place on Earth, including a number of events that occurred in the comics. Sinestro's rebellion against the Guardians of the Universe is one of them, as is the establishment of an entire corps in the form of the Sinestro Corps. Maybe they've all been killed by Parallax, and the next Earth-based Lantern to be recruited will have to establish the entire Corps again from scratch. Either way, something must be going on in the cosmos, because it really makes no sense that no lanterns were present.
What I do now, I do for the good of all.
As do I.
Wonder Woman and Aquaman have Kryptonian roots. Across all forms of media, Superman is generally referred to as the last son of Krypton, but that rarely actually turns out to be the case. This theory suggests that the DCEU is no different. It suggests that something else from the Man of Steel's home planet has survived in the live-action franchise, in the form of Earth-based races with Kryptonian roots. That's right, the theory suggests that Amazons and Atlanteans in the DCEU may have traces of Kryptonian blood flowing through their veins. That would mean that Wonder Woman and Aquaman's incredible powers are Kryptonian in origin. Although it might sound crazy, there is a basis for the theory in the DCEU. In 2013's Man of Steel movie, a single line of dialogue hinted towards it. General Zod revealed that Kryptonian scouting parties regularly travel across the universe, and it wouldn't be a surprise to find out that they had previously found their way to Earth during their travels. This would mean that DCEU Amazons and Atlanteans are descendants of universe-trotting Kryptonian scouts, and have inherited their strength, durability, speed, and so forth. Although this would undoubtedly be controversial if it turned out to be true, it would certainly put a unique and interesting spin on DCEU lore.
Long ago, when time was new, and all of history was still a dream, the gods ruled the earth.
Greek gods are being reborn as superheroes. In 2017's brilliant Wonder Woman movie, it was explicitly established that David Thewlis's Ares had killed all of the Olympian gods, apart from Zeus, who proceeded to use the last of his power to give life to the titular heroine. As a result, a fan theory has suggested that the Greek gods are being reborn on Earth in order to fight against the new god invasion from Apocalypse, which has already started with Steppenwolf's invasion in the Justice League movie. This theory has credence, as it was literally the case in the comic book series Earth 2, when Jay Garrick was given the powers of a dying Mercury, the fastest of the gods, and became the Flash as a result. As well as Diana possessing similar powers to Zeus, there are a number of other clear parallels between the ancient Greek gods and the other Justice League members. Batman's riches and stealthy nature mirrors that of the dour Hades, who was the god of death and wealth and possessed a helm of invisibility. Flash's super speed is reminiscent of Hermes, the super fast messenger of the gods. As the ruler of the oceans, Aquaman is the same as Poseidon, who ruled the oceans in his time. And Cyborg would be Hephaestus, who was the god of the forge and machinery. The similarities are pretty blatant, wouldn't you agree?
I've been catching up. It's nice to see how much our culture has improved while I was away.
The DCEU and the Arrowverse will come together. Most of the trailers for the Justice League were accompanied by the iconic Beatles track Come Together. The obvious thing to take away from that is that it was a reference to the various superheroes having to come together as the titular team in order to save the world as a cohesive unit. There's another theory about it though. Some fans believe that the use of the song may actually refer to an even larger, more epic coming together, that being the coming together of separate fictional universes into one spectacular entity, with the DCEU and CW's Arrowverse in particular colliding as part of this new multiverse. DC undoubtedly has formed for its different worlds merging as a result of a major storyline in the comic books. Take the arc called Crisis on Infinite Earths as an example, but sadly this does seem unlikely, and fans hoping for this theory to become true seem to be setting themselves up for disappointment. Any connection between the DCEU and the Arrowverse have been denied by those in positions of power, but it wouldn't be the first time that something that was flat out denied turned out to be true in the world of superhero cinema.
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead.
Superman has been corrupted. In the Justice League movie, after having previously been killed by the monstrous Doomsday in 2016's Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, Superman was resurrected by his allies using an Apocalyptian mother box. He went on to join the titular team and assist them in repelling the threat of Steppenwolf and his army of terrifying parademons. But this theory suggests he may not actually be the same truly heroic character he used to be. Superman may have been corrupted by the mother box, maybe via Darkseid's remote influence, as the new god's leader could certainly use a character with Superman's powers, and Superman may be slowly becoming more and more evil as its influence takes a hold of him. This could have some devastating consequences in future DCEU movies. When Darkseid arrives on Earth, he could end up being in control of Superman, or Superman can simply turn on his allies without needing Darkseid's influence. The idea of Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg fighting a genuinely evil and bloodlusted Superman in live action is pretty cool though, and a movie in which they have to fend him off without actually hurting him while trying their best to cure him would actually make for a really interesting story.
The devils don't come from hell beneath us, no. No, they come from the sky.
Lex Luthor planned the formation of the Justice League. It's safe to say that not every superhero movie fan is overly impressed by Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of the iconic supervillain Lex Luthor, and in general, he's received mixed reactions from audiences around the world. But the extended cut of 2016's Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice undoubtedly showed that he was brilliantly playing the role of a conniving puppet master, maneuvering everyone into the positions he wanted them to be in from behind the scenes. The theatrical cut made some of the resulting occurrences seem kind of random in the movie, but Luthor had actually planned everything up until the point he was captured. He was of course seen talking to Steppenwolf at the movie's climax, so he clearly knew a lot about what would eventually unfold in the Justice League movie. With that in mind, this theory suggests that Luthor's ultimate plan was to bring the Justice League together in order to make it easier to destroy all of Earth's heroic metahumans at once. If indeed that is the case, it's very similar to what many people believe Loki did in 2012's Avengers movie, and everybody loves Loki, so Luthor's negative reception does seem harsh when you bear that in mind.
So you're fast. That feels like an oversimplification.
Flash was about to unlock his true power. In the mid-credit sequence of Justice League, Superman and the Flash had a friendly race to the Pacific Coast in order to find out who is truly the fastest member of the team. Of course, in spite of many Superman fans arguing to the contrary, the Flash is by far the faster of the two in the comic books. But Ezra Miller's version of the character hasn't truly unleashed the speed he's capable of in the DCEU just yet. This theory suggests that the mid-credit scene depicted the moment before he was about to do exactly that. Going forward in the franchise, this means Flash should be far more powerful and an even more important member of the League. Once he taps fully into the concept known as the Speed Force, he will be considerably faster than the speed of light, and he'll be able to travel through time on sheer speed alone, something that was hinted at when a future version of the Flash appeared to warn Bruce Wayne of the coming war in 2016's Batman v Superman. The next time Barry Allen and Clark Kent appear on screen together in the franchise, it's very likely that a reference will be made to their race, and there's no doubt that it'll be revealed that the Flash won it comfortably.
Did you get all that?
You did. Take them down.
The Injustice League are coming. In the post-credit scene of Justice League, it was revealed that Lex Luthor had escaped from Arkham Asylum following the events of 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and he had some very ominous plans in mind. Aboard his private yacht, Luthor met up with Joe Manganiello's Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, who was being shown on screen for the first time, and they briefly discussed the idea of setting up a team of their own in response to the formation of the Justice League. In the comic books, both men have been members of a number of teams, like the Secret Society of Supervillains, but the one being theorized to be formed in the DCEU is the Injustice League. If that does turn out to be the case, the possibilities for new recruits are endless, and that's a really exciting prospect for the live-action franchise. Across various forms of media, the Injustice League members have included iconic DC villains like Dr. Light, the Riddler, Gorilla Grodd, Black Manta, Poison Ivy, the Penguin, Felix Faust, Two-Face, Scarecrow, Toyman, Simon, Sinestro, Giganta, Atrocitus, and Clayface. There were also existing DCEU characters like the Joker, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, and Ocean Master.
I don't know how to lose.
You'll learn.
I'll learn. I don't hate the sinner. I hate the sin.
Lex Luthor will be Darkseid's host body. As we've already discussed, the Justice League movie came to an end with a mid-credit scene suggesting that Lex Luthor will form a team to combat Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and company in the future of the DCEU. But it's also fairly obvious that Darkseid will be a threat going forward. At the end of 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, it was very evident that something had invaded Luthor's mind. The doctors who examined him came to the conclusion that his talk of God being dead and something bigger coming were because he was insane. But Bruce Wayne recognized that the supervillain's words really were a sign of things to come. This theory suggests that Luthor may be doing more than merely warning of the coming of Darkseid, and that his behavior might be an early symptom of his transformation into a worthy host for the new god supervillain himself. There is a basis for this idea. The miniseries Final Crisis revealed that the new gods were being reborn on Earth in human bodies as a precursor to an invasion. The humans chosen as hosts showed very similar symptoms to the ones shown by Luthor in the DCEU.
Don't let them get to the missile!
And that's the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? Do you have any Justice League movie theories of your own? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more great videos like this one. And the number of Green Lantern rings that appeared was... We hope you had fun counting. Bye for now.